read this next short section from Roar the Ganges. By the time the puja was complete, it was 7 o'clock, time for morning class. This would be our last class with Swami Dayananda, our guru, for a while. He would leave for New Delhi later in the day. From New Delhi, he would fly to Bombay, and then onward to his ashram center near Coimbatore. During his brief stay here in Rishikesh, he deliberately paced himself to complete the Kena Upanishad with this morning's class. After the opening prayers, Swami Dayananda summarized the enigmatic story at the end of the Upanishad, a tale about 3 gods who tried to discover the ultimate truth, the absolute reality known as Brahman. Agni, the mighty god of fire, was the first to try. He was proud and arrogant, confident that he could easily discover Brahman. But he failed in his attempt and was humbled to find that he could not even burn a blade of grass. Then Vayu, the powerful god of wind, tried. He too failed and found he was unable to blow away even a single blade of grass. Finally, Indra, the king of the gods, tried to discover the nature of Brahman. He approached goddess Uma, the daughter of the Himalayas, and asked her to teach him. It was she that led him to discover the truth of Brahman. This cryptic story shows that knowledge of Brahman cannot be acquired merely by one's will and effort. An adequate means of knowledge, a pramana, is required. In this story, goddess Uma represents the teachings of Vedanta, the teachings which lead one to discover the ultimate truth. Swami Dayananda explained, Brahman is the reality underlying all that exists. It is the truth of every individual, the truth of the entire world, and the truth even of Ishvara, God. Whereas everything else enjoys existence, Brahman is existence as such. To discover Brahman as the truth of yourself is the goal of Vedanta. This is the ultimate message of the ancient sages who expressed it in the great dictum, Tat Tvam Asi. You are that, or that thou art. Swami Dayananda continued. Once, after giving a public lecture in which I said that Brahman is absolute truth, a man approached me as I was leaving the hall. He introduced himself as a professor of mathematics at the local university. Given his background in mathematical theory, he felt obligated to inform me that there can be no such thing as absolute truth. All truths are relative, he explained. They are defined in a particular context and can be negated in another context. Therefore, every definition of truth is subject to negation. I told the professor that Vedanta has a totally adequate definition of absolute truth. He was not convinced. So he proposed that if I gave him a satisfying definition, he would promise to attend each of my remaining lectures there. So, I explained in this way. Absolute truth is that which can never be negated, not in the past, present, or future. He looked surprised. He admitted that this definition was quite sound, but asked if such an absolute truth really exists. I said he will get the answer if he comes to the rest of my lectures as promised. Swami Dayananda then addressed us directly. And that is my message for you as well. Keep listening to these teachings. Keep the flame of inquiry burning brightly. The search for truth requires Shravana, hearing, Manana, debating, and Nididhyasana, supplementary teachings to engage it in a practical way in your life. Oh, he's going to translate these for me. Shravana means listening to the teachings of Vedanta and using them to guide your journey of self-inquiry. Self-inquiry is essential, but it will be fruitless if it is not properly directed. Vedanta guides the way. Next comes Manana, the process of resolving doubts. In your journey of self-inquiry, it is only natural that doubts arise. These doubts must not be ignored, they must be fully addressed. And to address them, we make use of proper reasoning. Vedanta makes considerable use of logic. Yet, as we saw earlier, self-knowledge cannot be gained through logic. Enlightenment is a matter of personal discovery, not logical proof. Such proofs are useless. Anything proved by logic is subject to being disproved by another logic. The role of logic in Vedanta is not to prove anything. It is only to remove doubts. Doubts arise when inadequate understanding and faulty reasoning leads you to become mired in inconsistencies and paradoxes. Manana helps extricate you from such confusion by forcing you to logically re-examine your thinking and discover where your misunderstandings lie. In this way, doubts born of improper logic are dismissed by proper logic. The commentaries explain this with an analogy. Suppose you meet a robber on a deserted road who threatens you with a large stick. Instead of running, you could seize his stick and beat him with his own weapon. That is how Vedanta uses logic, by wresting the stick of logic from our own doubts and using it to defeat them. Finally, we come to Nididhyasana, contemplation. Contemplation is the process of assimilating what you have already learned, thereby making the vision of the sages your own worldview. Insights remain vague when your understanding is not firm or well ascertained. Contemplation is the process of reflecting on what you have already discovered. In this practice, you see the truth again and again to make your knowledge vivid and clear. Such clarity comes gradually, like an old Polaroid photograph. When a self-developing photo first comes out of the camera, it is blank. You can't see anything at all. Then an image slowly begins to appear, developing as you watch. After a few minutes, you see a clear image. Contemplation works like that, gradually bringing increased clarity to your vision of reality. So, you must continue your self-inquiry, continue to address your doubts, and continue to contemplate upon all you have understood. Also, you must not neglect areas in which you still find yourself troubled by attachment, anger, or hurt. These indicate the need for more emotional growth. Your ongoing meditation, prayer, karma yoga, and other practices will help you overcome these problems and achieve your goal. Swami Dayananda closed this last class with a Vedic hymn, which translates to, "That Ishvara is infinite. This world is infinite. From that infinity, this infinity came forth. After this infinity came from that infinity, infinity alone remains. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti." And with that, we'll pause our reading there. And next time we'll begin another chapter, Surfing the Infinite Ocean. There seems to be only a few chapters left, so I am sure that the fruit from all our hard work will soon emerge after reading all these many chapters.